Okay, we are officially live. The Facebook is open. It's 9:02. This is the Spalding County State Court. My name is Josh Thacker. I'm your judge. This is the probation and non-jury calendar. Let me check one more time to see if the jail has made it in. All right, I have a Gordon Respris. Respris is on the calendar. I'm not seeing a Respris. Gordon Respris, this is Judge Thacker. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
All right. Mr. Respris, are you a witness on a case or are you a defendant on a case?
I am a witness.
All right. For which case?
For the Jamie Ross.
Got it. I see it there. That's 19 TK 3882.
Correct.
All right. Mr. Respris, sit tight. I've got some other matters I've got to address before this case. So you're just at ease, just listening. And I'll call you back in just a little bit, okay?
All right. Thank you.
All right. I'm going to mute you on this end and leave you there until I'm ready to talk to you. All right. I have two people in the lobby now. I have, oh, there's the jail.
A participant has joined the meeting.
Good morning, Deputy Dunn.
Good morning, sir.
All right. I'm still letting folks in the virtual lobby, but who do you have up first?
I got Ms. Guider and Ms. Horton up here first.
All right, so our two females. And then the two males you said are Flournoy
And Starks.
and Stark. Okay. Are either of the two females represented? I don't have the public defender's office here, which tells me they don't think they represent anybody. Are
I'll
you
double
aware?
check, but I don't think so.
Okay, well then, if you'll just, we'll just address Ms. Guider first, so if you'll just grab her, and I'll ask you on the record,
Okay.
then we'll go from there.
I'll grab her. Give me about 1 minute.
All right, and then also in the jail lobby, in the virtual lobby, I have Jacqueline Brooke Henson. Will somebody hand me, see if Cindy has the reset notices for December? This is Miss Henson. I just realized I directed her to come in. I was going to set her for December. If she doesn't have any, that's fine.
She's got some blank ones, John.
I'll take a blank one then.
All right, you just want to give you several?
That'd be great. Because I'm out. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Apparently there's a software update, and now it says, instead of me unmuting folks, it says you have officially requested them to unmute themselves. That's new. Ms. Henson, this is Judge Thacker. Can you hear me?
Yes, I do hear you.
Okay. Ms. Henson, let's just deal with yours because yours is very quick while the jail brings in. All right, as soon as we finish with yours, we'll deal with the jail. Ms. Henson, you were on this trial calendar that we had earlier this week, so your case is not on this calendar here. Your case is 20 TK 0148. You ready for me to place you under oath?
I'm sorry, what was that last part?
Are you ready for me to place you under oath?
Oh, yes, sir.
All right, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
You are Jacqueline Brooke Henson.
Yes, sir.
And Ms. Henson, you appeared as directed for your trial, for your calendar call last week. You ended up supposed to be reporting Tuesday. We ended up not on the bench on Tuesday. And therefore, I have reset your case. Are you ready for me to give you your new court dates?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Henson, you are going to appear here in the Spalding County State Court, virtually or in person, on December 9th at 9 a.m.
Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you.
That's your calendar call. And then if you don't resolve your case, we're gonna have your bench trial on the week of December 14th,
Okay.
2020, and each day, so that's the 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th, until your case is resolved.
Yes, sir.
What is a good phone number I can put on the reset notice?
678-603-6299.
All right, do you understand, Ms. Henson? If you miss these court dates that I've given you, that I will issue a warrant for your arrest?
Yes, sir.
All right, do you have any questions for me?
Yes. I know that when we last spoke, we were going to, originally you had requested for me to make the ticket. I wanted to ask two questions. Can it be payable online like you originally had requested? And also, because at this current time online, that's the reason why I appeared to court and didn't pay it online, is it's not giving me that option.
Okay.
Secondly, I wanted to ask about the license. It was supposed to be a renewal, and I know that the officer originally, you called it and wrote the wrong code, and I didn't know if there was any leniency that you would have for me on that, if that could possibly be dropped.
Okay, so the short answer is, I identified, just so the record's really clear, I identified that there was an error in your case. I took no action other than to refer you to the solicitor's office. I just thought it'd be really clear because I don't change charges. I just saw something that didn't look right and referred to the solicitor's office, which means at this moment, I'm gonna refer you back to the solicitor's office, and have you contact them, to work out those details. They'll work with the clerk, if all of this is accurate, which I think it is, and get your
Yes,
case marked payable, okay?
Okay, thank you. Yes, sir.
All right, call the solicitor's office.
All right, thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you, Ms. Henson.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, she's good, so this goes into the things to go downstairs. All right, let's pivot to our first jail case. All right. All right, Don, if you'll unmute yourself on your end. There we go. Ma'am, what is your name?
Keandra Guider.
Good morning, Ms. Guider. My name is Josh Thacker. I'm your state court judge. Can you see me waving at you here?
Yes.
Is it okay with you, Ms. Guider, if we have this hearing over this video conference system?
Yes.
Ms. Guider, I'm going to have you and Mr. Walker both please raise your right hands for me. You both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, you're both sworn. Ms. Guider, you are here today because you're on probation with the Spalding County State Court on 18 SR 755. Your probation officers filed paperwork with me alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. Do you understand what you're doing here today?
Yeah.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Guider, do you understand, ma'am, that because you are incarcerated, you have the right to have the public defender's office represent you?
Yes.
And if you ask me to reset your case to another date, I'll be more than happy to do that, to give you a chance to apply with the public defender's office, and because you're incarcerated, you would be guaranteed representation. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You may also waive your right to have an attorney and go forward today without one, if you so choose. Do you understand those options?
Yes.
What would you like to do?
Go for it.
All right, Ms. Guider, I'm looking at this petition. It says that on 18 SR 755 that you missed some report dates. Is that correct?
It wasn't allegedly, but I tended to forget. I didn't mean to, but I was supposed to come and pay him.
Okay.
But I still thought the COVID-19 that we wasn't supposed to go in, but I guess we were.
Well, I think you were supposed to call. Mr.
Oh,
Walker, Mr. Walker, did she ever call in?
Judge, no, sir. I'm not her officer. Miss Matthews is, and Miss Matthews says that she has never reported.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what I thought I heard Ms. Geider just say. All right. Ms. Geider, did you get behind on your fines and fees and not use community service work to get caught up?
yeah.
Okay. I'm noticing a big pause there, Ms. Geider. It's my job to point that out. If you want to address something specific, that's fine. Otherwise, I'm going to just take you at your word that that's a yes. So is that true or not, Ms. Geider?
Yeah.
Let's do a yes or a no. This is court. Let's try to do a little more formal, Ms. Geider. Is that a yes or a no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did you catch new felony charges? Possession of cocaine with intent to distribute, possession of marijuana with intent to distribute, possession of a synthetic or possession of methamphetamine with intent to distribute, and possession of controlled substances near a housing project.
Okay. Now, I was not there when that took place. That was my boyfriend, and for some reason, I don't know why she arrested me and gave me those charges that he had, but I really want to know why too.
Okay. I'm going to take the last one as a denial. So I'm going to take an admission on one, an admission on two, and a denial on count three. Ms. Snyder, this is a consecutive case, and I think you also have a case going. Yeah, this case is consecutive to another case. Anything else you want me to know before I make my decision on your case?
No, I mean just that I wasn't there, and
Yeah.
I don't. She didn't arrest me, so
And
she
I
arrested me after.
I remove that from my consideration. I'm only making my decision off of count one, your failure to report, and count two, your failure to pay fines and fees or use community service work to get caught up. So you can forget about the new charges. You still got them, but I'm not deciding on them today.
Okay.
Anything else you want me to know?
No, that's all.
All right. Ms. Geider, according to the census today, you have been no bonded on all of those charges, so there's nothing I can do to get you out. I also find that with your complete failure to in any way engage in the probation process, that it is very clear to me that you are not a candidate for continued probation. Given the fact that you're no bonded, and I think you got a long way to go before you're going to find a resolution, I'm going to revoke 120 days to serve in the Spalding County Jail. I'm going to terminate the balance of your case.
Okay, can I ask a question?
You may.
Okay, why am I being no bonded?
That's between you and the Superior Court. Those are felony charges. I'm the misdemeanor judge.
Okay.
All right. Ms. Geider, anything else on your misdemeanor case?
No, that's all.
All right, Ms. Geider, later on today, one of the deputies will pull you out of your cell and present you with this document I'm holding up. Can you see that I'm holding up a piece of paper here?
Yes.
They're going to have you sign this, and that will, and then they'll give you a copy of it acknowledging how I've closed out your case, okay?
Okay.
Ms. Geider, thank you so much. Be safe, and next judge you see will be a Superior Court judge. Thank you, Ms. Geider. Who are your clients?
I have a Johnny Flournoy, a Tehran Starks, and a Shalofra Horton.
Okay, Ms. Horton is next. Do you need to speak with her before we have the hearing? Because I've got,
Well, based upon the fact that she's in on very serious felony charges, Judge, I don't see where that's going to really make any difference.
okay,
Unless she has a question, I'll address it if she said, once you speak to her, and she says she may have a question. But
okay.
if you see what she's in the custody for, you'll see that
Well, you should see her in that seat any second now, because Miss Horton was on the other side of that wall. That's Miss Horton. All right, well, let's just go ahead and address her since you're here and she's in the seat. And I would like to do that. Good morning, ma'am. Are you Miss Horton?
Yes.
Ms. Horton, my name is Josh Stacker. I'm your state court judge. I'm going to have you and Mr. Walker both please raise your right hands. You both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, you're both sworn. Ms. Horton, your case is 19 SR 0469. You're here today because your probation officers filed paperwork with me alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. Do you understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Horton, your attorney, Mr. Terrence Malloy with the Public Defender's Office, is seated here. On your screen, he would be on the bottom left corner. Can you see him on your screen there?
Wow.
You could be right there waving at you right there.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, these technology, it's your best friend or your worst enemy. Is it okay with you, Ms. Horton, if we go forward with this hearing over this video conference system?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Horton, I'm going to pivot to your attorney now and ask him a question. Have you had enough time to speak with him?
Yes, sir. I have.
You satisfied with the job he's done on your behalf?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Malloy, will this be an admission?
Your Honor, if you could just refresh on what the allegation is.
All right.
Just not paying comp fines and.
Yes, so it's 5 allegations. Number 1, that the defendant missed some report dates. Number 2 and 3 are, I'm going to combine those. So it's did not use community service work to get caught up after number 2, getting behind on fines and fees. Number 4, failed to appear at a revocation hearing I ordered for November 21st of 2019. And number 5, received these new felony charges. Aggravated assault, battery, and murder. So we're splitting it, admission, denial of all.
Ms. Horton, would you like to go over these with me on the phone before I address the judge, or do you just want to go forward now?
Your attorney. That was your attorney. I
So
said,
So Ms. Horton, he can, you see that phone there to your left? Look down and to your left, there's a phone there.
Okay.
Okay, so this is how we do this. If you want to speak with him before he makes a formal announcement, just to clarify all the terms, he can step back in the jury room and that phone will ring and that'll be him talking to you.
Okay. That'd be fine.
Okay, or you can just go forward, whichever you prefer.
We can go forward.
All right. Are there any of these specifically, Mr. Malloy, that are admissions?
Your Honor, from the notes that I have, because it was Mr. Busey who was handling these cases.
Okay.
I'm not aware of anything that's that's in dispute, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, well, just to make it easy then, I'm gonna remove number 5 from my consideration. And I'm gonna make the decision based off of 1 through 4. That'll make it a technical violation.
Yes, sir.
She's not getting out. There's no scenario where she's getting out. So Ms. Horton, what I've done after discussing this with your attorney is I've removed the new charge allegation.
Yes,
And I'm
sir.
gonna make my decision off of everything else, okay?
Yes, sir.
There is no scenario that I'm envisioning, and I spent a whole lot of time in Superior Court before I became the state court judge, that you're gonna get a bond anytime soon with the seriousness of your felony charges. That's just me speculating. So what I'm going to do is, I show that you have 257 days left. So after talking this through with your attorney, I'm gonna revoke 120 and terminate the balance off the technicals. Mr. Walker, are there any other cases consecutive or anything else I need to factor in?
No, sir.
Okay, that closes it out. Ms. Horton, later on today, this document will be brought out to you by court services.
Yes, sir.
They will have you sign it and they'll get you a copy, okay?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Horton, you be safe, okay?
All right, you too. You too. Thank you.
just wave right out there.
Huh.
Just wave right out there. I bet you just say.
All right, Mr. Malloy, anything else on that one?
No, Your Honor.
All right, that goes to the court services file.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
does he have any of the males?
Yes.
Does he have any of those?
I think he represents both.
Okay,
Florida and Starks.
Yeah, Florida and Starks are both his.
okay, all right, just want to double check. Thank you.
All right, so I'm gonna pivot into calling the calendar then. Somebody wave at me when I can't see it. For some reason, it says there's not enough bandwidth to put it both up on the screen and on my screen, which is a known issue with the poor internet of this building. So somebody's gotta wave at me when they're up there, because I can't see it. All right, I'm gonna call the calendar. If you are here, just announce here, so that I can know which ones are warrants and which ones we need to move forward on. So, number one, John L. Boston.
Here.
All right. Kamanta Boston.
Here.
Jaquavius Cotton. Jaquavius Cotton. 17 SR 1011. All right. Qualification of the court. No answer. Not reporting virtually. For failure to appear, I'm authorizing a warrant for his arrest. Mr. Florida's jail case. Ms. Geider has been handled. Ms. Horton has been handled. Which brings me to Bryson Jordan. Here. Zachary McDaniel.
Here.
Lawan McFarland.
Here.
Joshua Monk.
Here.
Jennifer Morris.
Here.
Nicole Purser.
Here.
Okay. Jamie Ross.
Here.
Mr. Starks is the jail case. And Martell Varner.
Here.
All right, good to go. All right, come. I forgot to mute it. Now we're unmuted. I'm gonna start hearing if, your client shows up while we're in the middle of it, just wave at me.
Yes, sir.
We might take a break and jump into that one. Jamie Ross, come to the podium, please. All right. Mr. Walker, Ms. Ross, you'll both please raise your right hands. You both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Ross, your case is 19 TK 3882. You are here today because your probation officer has filed paperwork with me alleging that you are not in compliance with your probation. Do you understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
You ready to go forward?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Ross, the allegations are, number one, that you that you missed some report dates. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. It was a family emergency. I explained it to her. I forgot that I had to report, and my mom went to the hospital the same day.
Okay, so I'm gonna take that as an admission with an explanation. Number two, that you got behind on your fines and fees and turned in unverifiable hours to
Yes,
satisfy those fines, those conversions.
yes, sir. But I did just turn in $260 to her yesterday, and I told her that I would have the other 40 by Friday, and I will have the other 75 by Friday as well. That I'm gonna have to pay her on Wednesday.
All right, well, let me be more specific. The allegation is that the hours that you turned in are no good.
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna ask you a very, very specific question. Did you turn in false community service work hours to your probation officer?
Yes, sir. But it was not, and it was the wrong paper that I gave her. It was for a different probation officer, and that was not the one that I meant to give her, to be honest with you, sir.
All right, I'm gonna take that as a denial. This is a contested hearing, and I'm gonna make a decision based off the evidence. Mr. Walker, which witnesses have you subpoenaed today?
Mr. Gordon Respis,
All right, I'm gonna unmute Mr. Respris. Mr. Respris, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right, do you have your ability to turn on a video so I can see you?
I do. I'm trying that right now.
Hey, I can see you. Perfect. We're good to go. Okay, Mr. Respris, I'm about to place you under oath. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Respris, raise your right hand for me on screen. All right, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right. Mr. Respris, please state your name.
Gordon Respis.
And Mr. Respis, what is your employment?
I am a education supervisor at Dosset Trails Nature Center.
All right. And Mr. Respis, tell me a little bit about, actually, I'm going to turn you over to Mr. Walker. Mr. Walker, if you want to ask him about his community service work contract with the state court, and Ms. Ross specifically, I'd like to hear about that.
Mr. Respis, Mr. Respis, when did Dosset Trails open back up for community service work from COVID-19?
It would be sometime in September. It was about September 8th, I believe, early September.
Mr. Respis, does Dosset Trails have an employee there by the name of Ashley Barrett?
No, sir.
Are you familiar with Ms. Ross completing community service work recently at Dosset Trails?
No, sir. The last record we have of her being here was in 2017. I do not have any other paperwork indicating that she was here more recently.
I rest, Judge.
Mr. Respis, just a couple of follow-up questions for me. Do you
Yes,
keep
sir.
records of everybody who does community service work at Dosset Trails?
Yes, sir, we do.
And so if Ms. Ross had completed community service work with you on 9/8, 9/10, 9/13, and 9/16, you would have records of that?
Yes, sir, we would.
All right. The probation officer has provided me, that should be, I can go to it. All right, and have you ever had an Ashley Barrett at your office? I mean, at Dawson Trails?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, is there anything else we failed to ask you that you want to let us know?
No, sir.
All right. At this point, Ms. Ross, can you see her standing at the podium there?
No,
Well, you're on the
not.
screen, so you'd actually have to swipe to get to it, but she's standing at the podium here. She may have some questions for you, okay?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Ross, do you have any cross-examination questions you'd like to ask this witness?
No, sir.
All right. Mr. Respis, that's all I have. Mr. Walker, any objection to me releasing this witness?
No, sir.
Ms. Ross, any objection to me releasing this witness?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Respis, I'm going to mute you on this end. You're welcome to disconnect, or you're welcome to remain and listen to the remainder of the hearing as you prefer. I have no preference, okay?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right, he's muted. All right, Mr. Walker, you may call your next witness or testify on this case yourself, whichever you so prefer. Or rest. Sorry, there's three options there.
Ms. Ross turned in these community service hours, which we were not able to verify. Ms. Matthews then called Ms. Barrett and tried to see if she worked at Dawson Trails and could verify these hours that Ms. Ross claimed that she had completed. And Ms. Matthews was asking Ms. Barrett questions which she could not answer. So we brought these community service hours and Ms. Ross before you today.
All right, now you sent me ahead of time this state's Exhibit 1, which is Judicial Alternatives of Georgia Community Service Report. Is this the one that says any questions or concerns, contact Ashley Barrett?
Yes, sir.
All right. Will you show that to Ms. Ross? And are you tendering that at this time?
You know what?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Ross, do you have any objection to me using that document and making my decision on your case?
No, sir.
All right. States 1 is tendered and admitted without objection. All right, Mr. Walker, anything else you want me to know?
No, sir.
Ms. Ross, you may ask Mr. Walker any questions you may have. All right, there's no questions from Ms. Ross. Mr. Walker, do you have any additional witnesses you wish to call?
No, sir.
Do you rest?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Ross, the state is rested, which means they've given me all the information they intend to give me. Do you have any witnesses or evidence you wish to call in your defense?
No, sir.
Okay. Then the evidence is closed.
I do ask that you take in consideration of not arresting me because I have a disabled mother that I have to take care of.
Okay.
For work.
All right, well, your request is noted. Ms. Ross, on 19 TK 3882, your case, oddly enough, is a speeding case.
Yes, sir. And I'm working on trying to pay it off. I get paid Friday, and I'll have it done as soon as possible. I'm trying my hardest.
Okay. All right, well, Ms. Ross, anything else you want me to know? That's twice you've jumped back in. I want you to say what you want to say, and then it's my turn. Do you have anything else you want to tell me? Okay, well, then it's time for you to please be quiet and let me finish. Ms. Ross, on 19 TK 3882, you're charged with 1 count of speeding, 75 and 55. This was a payable offense. The original fine was $214.75. You didn't have those funds, and after a couple of court dates, you ended up entering a plea and being placed on probation. That probation was terminated upon completion. Of that 365 days of probation, you completed 319 of it as of today, with 48 days left to serve. Ms. Ross, you need to understand that when I took the bench, Judge Essery, my predecessor, and I sat down and had many conversations about the operations of the Spalding County State Court. One of the things that he stressed to me was that he was very frustrated with the number of false community service work hours he had been provided. He told me that his solution to this was to simply not allow community service work at any other place other than an officer that he brought in, that he had pick up trash on the side of the road, and that one officer would do it Saturday and Sunday, and that was the only probation option available. And he just had everybody do it. That way he had one officer signing off one group, and he didn't have to deal with chasing down false information. Every time I have one of these hearings, I hear Judge Essery telling me that he was right and I was wrong. And so every time I do this, I think, should I be so lenient in allowing people to go to all these different places? Because frankly, this is what ends up happening, is I have to have about one of these every other week where somebody turns in false information to me. And do you understand that providing false information to a governmental agency is a felony? It has a range of punishment of 1 to 5 years. So you have committed a felony, and I will respond as such. I find that you have provided me with false information due to the testimony of Mr. Respers, who said that he has no record of you being there on the 8th, 10th, 13th, or 16th of September. He has no one there from Ashley Barrett. This document has been tendered and admitted to me, and it has a great big line at the bottom that says, any questions or concerns, contact Ashley Barrett at 478-951-6318, which is a clear misdirect from Dosset Trails, so that if anyone tries to follow up, they will not call Dosset Trails to confirm their hours. They will call whoever this Ashley Barrett is. And I assure you, if we can figure out who Ashley Barrett is, she will be dealt with as well. Miss Ross, I guess what's so sad to me, and I don't get, is the fact that we bend over backwards in this court to work with people. We bend over backwards. You said you have a disabled mom at home. We do Facebook community service work. You can literally sit at home next to your mom on the couch and get your hours done. So why you would go get creative and lie to me about going to Dawson Trails makes absolutely no sense to me. Absolutely no sense. But the problem is, I can't let it slide, and I won't let it slide. And you're going to do the entire remainder of your speeding probation in the Spalding County Jail, because that's where you deserve to be. Come on up. You're going with Kurt Services. I'm revoking 48 days. She's already signed the paperwork. There's nothing for her to sign.
This way.
Ladies and gentlemen, a little public service announcement. We will work with you if troubles. This is a difficult year for everybody. Communicate with your probation officer. Let them know you're having trouble, and they will work with you. They will work with you. But you lie to me, and you're going to spend the balance of your probation. If she had 700 days left, I would have put her in jail for 700 days. It doesn't matter how much time you left. If it becomes true that you lied to me, I'm taking all of it. Okay, your client's here.
Yes, sir.
Which one is this? Is this Mr. Starks? Listen.
This man?
Good morning, Mr. Starks.
All right, doing good.
I am now. Okay. Mr. Starks, can you see me waving at you here?
Yes, man.
All right, can you see your attorney, Mr. Malloy, seated at the defense table? Be kind of on the bottom left of your corner there. I see you waving at him. All right.
Yes.
Mr. Starks, I'm going to have you and Mr. Walker both please raise your right hands. You both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, you're both sworn. Mr. Starks, do you need any additional time to speak with your attorney, or are you ready to go forward?
We're going for it.
All right. Then, oh, I'm missing a piece of paper. There it is. Mr. Starks, I'm going to pivot to your attorney at this point. Mr. Malloy, your client's case is 19 SR 1317. Is this going to be an admission?
Your Honor, from what else I have, yes, that's the indication I have from the admission.
Do you have a request from me on sentencing?
Well, one or two things, Your Honor. If the court's inclined to, right now, the bond term, his new charges totals $2,000 that he's not able to make back. The court would entertain maybe giving him an OR bond where he could be released. That would be one consideration, but if not, we would just ask for 20 days to serve, Judge.
All right, how long has he been in? Got that here. All right, that's correct. You're correct in that the only two holds on him are this probation hearing as well as a magistrate bond of $1,500. He's got 196 days left. I'm gonna revoke a little bit more than that. I'm going to revoke 100 days, terminate the balance, and I'll sign the OR bond once you get the solicitor's office to sign off on it.
Yes, sir.
And that way, when his time runs on this one, which will be calculated by the sheriff, Mr. Stark, I don't have any control over that. But once your time is served on this one, assuming the state agrees to the OR bond and we don't need a contested hearing, we'll move you towards getting out, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Starks, later on today, the court services is gonna bring out this piece of paper for you to sign, acknowledging that I've terminated your case, and they will, give you a copy, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you need anything else, Mr. Starks?
They doing good.
All right. All right, good luck to you, Mr. Starks. You be safe, and the paper will come out to you shortly.
Okay.
Right up there, I'll take that in a second. Okay?
Okay. Doug, do you have,
I don't have him up here yet. I will have him up in the next 5 minutes.
all right, I'm gonna do a couple of walk-ins then, and,
That's fine. Yes, sir.
somebody wave at me when they're there. All right, Janelle Boston. Good morning. All right, both of you will be, please raise your right hands. Do you both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, you both sworn. Mr. Boston, your case is 20 TK 1376. You're here today because your probation officers filed paperwork with me alleging that you are out of compliance with your probation. Do you understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
You ready to go forward?
Is it for the not paying my, fine?
Yes, it's missing, the allegations are missing or some report dates and getting behind on your fines and fees and not using community service work to get caught up.
Well, I completed my community service. It was only 7 hours I had to complete. I turned in my paperwork.
This wasn't, so this was you got behind on your fines and didn't convert it into community service work to get caught up.
Oh, I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know I could do that.
Okay, I'm gonna push back on that just a little bit, Mr. Boston, and say, I announce that every single morning when I start court. I say it in every single plea I take, and I know that probation provides that to every single probationer because they give them the packet. So I'm gonna push a little bit back on you with your saying you don't have any knowledge that community service work is an option. And I'm gonna say that I'm gonna give you a chance to restart on that, because I'm going to allow you a chance to do that, okay?
Yes, sir.
But I wanted the record to be very clear that I'm not gonna go there with you that you didn't know, considering it's in my PowerPoint. So, okay, here we go. So Mr. Boston, did you miss some report dates?
Yes, sir.
All right, and did you, we've already talked about count 2, which you have acknowledged. So what I'm gonna do is just simply give you a chance to restart. So what that means is, I'm gonna have you, report weekly. Your next report will be by phone on November 3rd, 2020, between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. So by phone, November 3rd, 2020, 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. You're going to be on zero tolerance for 30 days. And what that means, Mr. Boston, is for the next 30 days, I want you to put your absolute best efforts into getting your case back into compliance. And if you step out of line in any amount, in any direction, I'm going to issue a warrant first and then figure it out second. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Lastly, you know what? You're a pay only, aren't you? Okay, I'm going to convert your case into a terminate upon completion. I'm actually going to change my sentence a little bit. You're going to report weekly until your case is closed, because you hold that answer in your hand 100%. Like you could literally, I just realized you could literally close your case tomorrow if you could get these things taken care of.
Okay.
which means I'm gonna change the zero tolerance to duration of the case. And the case closes the moment you get everything satisfied.
Okay.
Fair enough?
Yes, sir.
Any questions for me?
No, sir.
All right, so you're gonna sign this, and the bailiffs will give you a copy before you leave, okay? Report on the 3rd. You can go over to the door there and they'll get your paperwork. Nobody's in the jail. All right, that was Johnny O. Boston. Let's move forward to Kamanta Boston. All right, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, both of you please raise your right hands. Do you both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Boston, your case is 19 SR 1604. You're in our pretrial diversion program. It says here that you have violated the terms of that supervision. You ready to go forward with your hearing?
Yes, sir.
All right. It says here that you missed some report dates. Is that correct?
Correct.
It says here that you also did not use community service work after agreeing to get caught up on your fines and fees.
Yes, sir.
All right. You have not had any previous hearings with me. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm making two decisions. Number one, the first decision I'm gonna make is I'm gonna leave you in the pretrial diversion program. So I have the option to pull you out of it. You're not that far out of compliance. So I'm gonna give you another chance because I want to see you successfully complete this.
Yes, sir.
And you do too.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's do that. I'm going to have you report weekly, and I'm going to put until your case is closed. You are going to report by phone on November 3rd, 2020, between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. November 3rd. And of course, your case is set to terminate. Mr. Walker, am I correct that his case can terminate the moment he's in compliance?
Yes, sir.
All right, and you're not that far from that finish line. So get your stuff done, get your case closed, and let's get this matter resolved for you, okay? All right,
Yes,
you have
sir.
any questions for me?
Is there like a set balance I can pay to end it all?
I believe so, but I'm gonna let you get that exact number from probation, because I'm not entirely certain that I'm correct on that. So, but when you call in on Tuesday, they'll walk you through every nook and cranny of how to get your case closed, because they want to see you close it successfully as well.
Yes, sir.
All right, anything else?
No, sir.
All right, and Mr. Walker, do you want me to have him just call in on Tuesday to get that information?
Yes, sir. That's fine.
Okay, so just call in on Tuesday, you'll get all that information and they'll walk you through it. Okay. All right, sign this before you leave and the bailiffs will give you a copy, okay? All right, looks like I have somebody at the jail. What is your name, sir?
My name's Johnny Flournoy.
That's the last one, yeah.
Okay. All right. Mr. Flournoy,
Yes, sir.
if I could have you and Mr. Walker both please raise your right hands. You both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, you're both sworn. Mr. Flournoy, your case is 19 TK 5192. There we go. Your attorney, Mr. Malloy, is sitting here at the defense table. Can you see him in the bottom left corner of your screen there?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay with you, Mr. Flournoy, if we do this hearing over this video conference system?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Flournoy, if you need to speak with your attorney at any time, you just let me know, okay?
I only want to see if I can make a recommendation with them today or with you on my part of my situation.
Well, that's what you got Mr. Malloy here to do, is to make a recommendation to me as to what the right resolution would be on your case. So you have two options at this moment. I can take a break and call another case and let you speak with him, or you can let him make the recommendation as you are. Whichever one you prefer is fine with me.
My case will still get done today if I do speak with him.
Yes,
Okay, yeah, I'd like to speak with him right quick if that's fine.
that's fine. What's gonna happen is, Deputy Dunn's gonna mute you on this one, and then that phone, do you see that phone down there to your left?
Yes, sir.
It's gonna ring in just a minute. That's gonna be Mr. Malloy. You're gonna get to talk privately with him, and then when Mr. Malloy comes back in, I'll call your case again. All right. So. All right, Bryson Jordan. Good morning, Mr. Jordan.
Good morning.
All right, if you and Mr. Walker both please raise your right hands. You both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Jordan, your case is 19 SR 1044. Your case, you're here today because your probation officers filed paperwork with me alleging that you are out of compliance with your probation. Do you understand what you're doing here today? Oh, I'm so sorry. You're a pretrial diversion. Let me start that over. You're here today because your probation officer has said that you're out of compliance with your pretrial diversion supervision. Do you understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, Your Honor.
You ready to go forward with your hearing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Jordan, it says here that you missed some report dates. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that you accepted community service work to convert your fines, but then you didn't follow through. Is that correct as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You don't have any previous hearings with me. So I'm going to leave you in the program because I want to see you successfully finish it. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions for me?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to mark that you've admitted to the violations. I'm going to leave you in the program. I'm going to have you report. You're terminated upon completion, so I'm going to have you report weekly until your case is closed.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to have you report by phone on November 3rd, 2020. Between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. And I want you to communicate fully with your probation officer. I want to see you get this finished. You've got a little bit farther to go than the gentleman ahead of you, but it's still within striking distance. So I want you to get this finished. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions for me?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then I'm going to have you sign this. Call into probation on the 3rd, and then they'll walk you through how to get your case closed, okay? All right, step over to the door there. Bale's have to sign your paperwork. Good luck to you. Be safe.
Thank you.
Zachary McDaniel. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, you're Zachary McDaniel.
Yes, sir.
Mr. McDaniel, Mr. Walker, both please raise your right hands. You both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, you're both sworn. Mr. McDaniel, your case is 19 SR 246. You're here today because your probation officer filed paperwork with me alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. You understand what you're doing here?
Yes, sir.
You ready to go forward?
Yes, sir.
Mr. McDaniel, the allegations are that you missed some report dates. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that you got behind on your fines and fees and did not use community service work to get caught up.
Yes, sir. I made up the behind payments though. And then actually, when I was behind, I actually finished paying off one, because I have two charges that I'm on probation for.
Okay.
So I paid off one of them, and then I owed 675 on the super speeder side. That you were very lenient with me last time I came into court with you and added that on, and I paid 270 on that I think Monday, so I made up what I was behind on.
Is that correct, Mr. Walker? He's put a lot of efforts into getting caught up.
Yes, sir. He paid off a case and then he's working significantly hard to pay off this one.
Okay. Well, it sounds to me like a good reset will go a long way, or restart, excuse me. So, Mr. McDaniel, here's what we're going to do. I am going to have you report weekly. Your case is set to close the moment you satisfied your obligations. So you're going to report weekly until your case is closed. I'm going to place you on zero tolerance until your case is closed. Your case will, of course, close the moment you satisfied your obligations to the court.
Yes, sir.
So I want you highly motivated to get this done so that you can get off probation.
Oh yeah, I'll have that within the next week and a half.
Okay, well, that's what I was hoping. So I'm going to have you report by phone. Oops, I checked my box. Report by phone on November 3rd, 2020, between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m.
Okay. And but will I be able to make the payments to finish off my case online and then?
Yes, when you call in on, well, let me rephrase that. I believe so. When you call in on Tuesday and talk to your probation officer, you will have an opportunity to ask them all those questions and they'll walk you through all the details.
All right.
Mr. Walker, anything else on this one?
No, sir, Judge.
All right, Mr. McDaniel, sign this document with the bailiff and they'll give you a copy before you leave. All right, you may step over the door. All right, you ready, Mr.
Yes,
Florino?
sir.
All right, let's get you out of here. Mr. Florino, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Florino, are you ready to go forward with your hearing?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you're still under oath, and we're back on record on State versus Johnny Flournoy, 19 TK 5192. Mr. Malloy, is this going to be an admission or denial?
This will be an issue, Your Honor.
All right, what's the request you have of me on sentencing?
Well, Your Honor, before I give the request, I just wanted to give the court a bit of information. We have what we call good news, bad news here. The good news is that Mr. Flournoy just recently had the birth of a child the first week in October. And he was actually arrested a few days after that for this violation. The bad news is also a day or so after that, his father passed away. So Mr. Flournoy is kind of conflicted right now.
Sure.
And what he would ask the court to do, the recommendation would be, he actually, his mother lives in Thomaston. He actually has a job there in Thomaston with a company called Quad Graphics. And he would like that the court would grant him the ability to be released so he could do two things: go back to work, because he said his job is still waiting for him, and also to help his mom under these trying times of her just having lost her husband. He's willing, being banned from Spalding County, and he knows this. I know I stay with condition on the bond. He said he thought it was an OR bond for the battery charge that he has. The court would just reinstate that so he could go and again deal with his family issues over in Thomaston with both the new child and the death of his father.
All right, it looks like the bond on the other one has already been satisfied, and this is the last hold on him. What was the original charge on this case? Let's see.
And driving suspended license, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna give him a little bit of time. He's been in 23 days, so I'm gonna give him 40 days to serve. Credit for time served. His OR has already been signed by me on the other cases, or at least I assume I signed it. He's on zero tolerance for the duration of his case. He's on, Mr. Walker, I was thinking of having him report in person. Do you all have a preference?
Yes, sir. And can we add in drug screens?
Well, that's why we're on the same page. That's where I was headed, was I'd like to have weekly drug screens. to make sure that he is in full compliance. So he's going to report and test weekly for the remainder of his case. He's on zero tolerance for the remainder of his case, and he's going to report. Mr. Walker, since he's an in-person report, when do you want me to assign him to come in?
Tuesday is fine.
Okay. What time?
It's Tuesday.
We could do it between 10 and 10:30.
10 and 10:30 it is. By my math, he should be out by then, assuming the sheriff gives him good credit, which is between him and the sheriff.
Sir, will I receive 2 for 1 for the time served?
So that's between you and the sheriff.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Florino, I don't have any control over that, but I do know a bit about their habits and patterns. Now, I don't know whether they're going to grant that to you or not, but assuming they do, you're going to report on Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
Between,
If not, Judge, then he can report 48 hours of his release.
I just realized I'm overcomplicating this case. I'm going to give him 23 days to serve. That way, we don't have to start figuring out good time, bad time. We're just doing 23 days. That's a straight number. We'll get him signed today and report on Tuesday.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Mr. Florino, I need to be very clear with you. If you so much as step out of line 1 inch in any direction, I'm going to issue a warrant first and figure it out second. You understand that?
Yes, sir, no problem.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Florino. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Moore.
sir. Have a good day.
Mr. Moore, it's always a pleasure. For you
I
guys.
apologize for the delay, Your Honor. The storm
Oh,
knocked my power out. Apparently, you said this neighborhood felled trees. He can't even get out. The roads are blocked.
Oh, yeah. My path to work today was about like this. So it's okay. All right. I've got 10 o'clock. We're going to take a 10-minute recess. We'll be back on the bench at 10:15 and we'll finish up the count.
Your Honor, Your Honor,
Yes.
that completes the jail status. That completes the jail calendar.
That was my understanding as well. Thanks, Don, and we'll see you
Okay.
back here in a little bit.
Yes, sir.
A participant has left the meeting.
All right, let's jump back in. Mr. Walker, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, then the next case would be McFarland. All right, come up to the podium there. Yes, yeah, that's our choke point, so we gotta have everybody have the masks on correctly there. All right, Mr. McFarland, if you and Mr. Walker both please raise your right hands. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. All right, take your hands
Yes,
off.
sir.
All right, you're both sworn. Mr. McFarland, do me a favor, lean into that mic just a little bit. It gets loud the closer you get. And state your full name.
Swan McFarland.
Perfect. Mr. McFarland, your case is 17 SR 990. You're here today because your probation officer has filed paperwork with me alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. Do you understand what you're doing here today?
No, sir. What you mean?
All right, so there are 3 allegations so you're on probation with me. We're good with that, right? Yes? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. While on that probation, you have certain conditions, and the probation officers filed paperwork with me stating that you're not doing those things.
Yes, sir.
I, of course, don't know yet. That's the purpose of this hearing, is just to figure out whether that's true or not. You with me so far?
Yes, sir.
So, so the 3 allegations are that you missed some report dates,
Yes, sir.
that you got behind on your fines and fees, and that you agreed to do community service work on January 3rd, but did not follow through. So those are the 3 allegations of how you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And then my job is to figure out whether that's true or not.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you understand now why you're here?
Yes, sir.
So then I'm going to ask you, did you miss some report dates?
Yes, I missed some.
Did you get behind on your fines and fees
Yes, sir.
and agree to do community service work on January 3rd, but then not follow through?
Yeah, I did some, but when I started working, I guess you were gonna ask you could I start paying instead of the community service.
Well, Mr. Walker, how much of his fine has he converted to community service work?
Looks like he accepted 139 hours.
Okay. Well, what you've converted, you've got to finish. We don't go back and forth. So if you convert it, it's converted, and so you've got to do those hours. Whatever you have not converted, of course, is available to pay. So I know that's odd. You're offering money, and I'm telling you, got to do community service work, but that's our system. So, all right. Anything else?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The reason I'm on probation say suspended license.
Put your mask up on there.
Give me no, sir.
Your mask.
Oh, okay. My bad.
I'm sorry to pick on you. It's
Oh, no, it's all right.
It's all right. It's just that's the spot
Yeah.
everybody goes.
Yeah.
So we got to be extra vigilant right there.
Okay. Yes. I tried to get it squared away when I first came to court. They say that I'm on court for. Well, I know I'm on probation for suspended license. I never had suspended license. I had expired license. I tried to been take care of it even before.
Have you gotten your license back?
Oh yes, sir. I've been having a license, sir. It was expired, but Joshua Pitt charged me with suspended license. Never had suspended license.
Well, you didn't admit to suspended license. You played no-load.
Yeah, cause I was in the position that I had to get out of jail at the time, and I ain't never seen nobody beat no misdemeanor in court. So I really just, I was just letting you know what my situation was right now.
Okay.
Then with the drug fees and stuff like that, I thought it was gonna be like my first year, and no, it was gonna be like the whole 2 years.
Okay. Well, you're telling me that you entered this plea because you felt like you had no other option.
Yes, sir.
I'm very confident that I advised you of your rights and that you have the right to have, I advise you that you have the right to have 12 citizens of Spalding County who would of course not be part of the misdemeanor court, as you call it, that has never found anyone not guilty in its entire history, is what I just heard you say, or at least to your knowledge.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go there with you, and I'm going to dispute that formally on the record, that I on bench trials have certainly found people not guilty, and juries here have certainly found folks not guilty. So your assertion that no one is able to get a favorable ruling is something I need to correct on the record. Mr. McFarland, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put that, even with your acknowledgments that these are admissions and that you have admitted that you violated your probation, I'm going to place you on, as this is a drug case, I'm going to have you report well, actually, you've never had a positive screen. So I'm going to have you report weekly, test as needed. I'm going to put you on phone report for your next report, and then probation will decide when you're on phone report and when you're in person, and you'll follow their directions.
Yes,
Okay?
sir. Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Judge,
Yes.
Ms. Howell needs a updated address for the defendant because his mail is being returned.
All right. Nice and slow and loud. Give probation an updated address.
1234 Grill Road.
1234 Grove Road. Griffin?
Griffin, Georgia. My bad.
Is it 30223?
3.
Okay. And what's a good phone number?
770-467-0879.
All right, I'm going to put you on zero tolerance for 30 days. Get your case back on track, okay?
Yes, sir.
You need anything else?
No, sir.
All right, sign this. Bails will give you a copy, and then you'll be free to go. Mom?
Yes.
All right, you are Joshua Monk.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Monk, Mr. Walker, you'll both please raise your right hands. You both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, you're both sworn. Mr. Monk, your case is 19 SR 399. You're here today because your probation officers filed paperwork with me alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. Do you understand what you're doing here today?
Yes,
You ready to go forward with the hearing?
yes, sir.
Mr. Monk, your petition says that you did not provide proof of community service work completion. Is that correct?
That's what it said, but I've also never even offered any hours or said that I completed any hours.
You're gonna have to do that one more time.
I never offered that I completed any hours. So I think there was a bit of a miscommunication in my online reporting because I live in Florida, so I have to report online.
Okay. Well, are you behind?
I've done literally 0 hours.
These are not conversion hours. These are part of your sentence hours?
Yes, sir. I have 240 that I have to do.
Well, how many of them have you done?
0.
Well, why?
Well, as soon as we finish court here, we get back in Florida, the whole COVID thing happened, and literally everything shut down to 0. Our court system shut down. The places that I had contact with to begin completing the community service, we're not allowing any community service to be done.
But I've been doing online court since June 1.
Yeah, yes.
And we do all of our hours through community service work. In fact, there's a bunch of people right now who are getting their hours in, watching you say this.
Yes, sir, that's right.
So I guess I'm just confused. I mean, how is it that I've been doing this since June, and you're telling me that you've not had an opportunity to do community service work.
No, I'm not saying I didn't have an opportunity. I'm saying that what I had arranged, anyway, with the online, the Facebook videos, I did speak with Miss Patrick about that. She did offer that to me. Literally that week, I did watch. You had like a test video up,
Yeah.
and you had a subsequent video that showed you going through the PowerPoint.
The rights.
And then that just had bad audio. I couldn't hear anything. I explained that to Miss Patrick.
Yeah,
And
we had some fits and starts when we first got
Yeah,
started.
yes, sir, yes, sir. But it is my fault that I didn't follow up on those Facebook videos. I just real inundated with work with the hurricanes, doing roofing, and traveling between Louisiana and the states in between where I live in Florida. So I could very well have completed those videos on Facebook, but it's my fault. I just literally
Okay.
forgot about the Facebook video.
All right, I must have misunderstood you. I heard you saying that it was not an option to you and you didn't know, and I just misunderstood.
No, sir. Miss Patrick did
Okay.
explain
Well,
that to me.
And just to say it out loud, because, some folks might want to know, which is that, I post these things every day, twice a day. When we have court twice a day, and then I'll leave them up for 24 hours because not everybody's available to watch them live. And that way when you get home after work, you can spend some quality time watching me hold court, which is as boring and important as it sounds.
Right.
So, Mr. Monk, tell me about the 12-step. Did you get your 12-step?
So I have miscommunication on that, but with the community service hours, I do have paperwork that I subsequently got from Goodwill within the last couple weeks in October, where they've lifted all the COVID restrictions and everything back to 100%. So I brought proof of that I've got an arrangement made there for those. And then regarding the 12-step program, during the evaluation, I forget what her name is, the person I was conducting the evaluation with never recommended to me that I needed to do a 12-step program or anything like that. So subsequently, when the email sent out, and again, I was in good communication with Ms. Patrick, I immediately called Ms. Patrick upon receiving that email because it said, I think it was a 2-page PDF that was attached to the email. On the second page at the very bottom, it said that she recommended that I continue the 12-step program in speaking with my sponsor daily, which would indicate that we had discussed some sort of 12-step program that I was actively participating in, which was not the case. So I immediately called Ms. Patrick and explained to her that that was not the case. I was not in a 12-step program. I did not at that time have a person that I was speaking to as a sponsor. So she asked to get in contact with the evaluator. I provided that information. They spoke. Ms. Patrick advised me that I could in turn get a subsequent evaluation by, I think it was a July date.
Mm-hmm. Did you do that?
I did not. The place that I got my evaluation is literally the only place that will do it that is not directly involved with intake for inpatient or outpatient treatment.
Okay.
So I explained that to her. So she said, well, then I recommend that you start observing the 12-step process and speaking with the sponsor. So
because that was part of the recommendation, although you said that was a miscommunication.
So yes, in the evaluation, the verbiage alluded to that I was already participating in one. So I explained to Ms. Patrick that I was not in one, right? So I was just trying to be very clear. I didn't want to be in trouble for something that I was supposed to be doing and wasn't doing.
Well, Mr. Monk, it sounds to me like you have had miscommunication after miscommunication, and I'm using that because you used it, and not because I think that frankly we've done on our end anything that we've missed. It sounds to me like you have not quite lived up to your obligations, so I'm going to give you a chance to restart, and we're going to get this through to the end. You've got 124 days left, and I want to see you successfully complete it.
Yes, sir.
Anything else you want me to know before I make my decision?
I just need to clarify, I think, with probation as far as the 12-step program, because my knowledge of the 12-step
Okay.
program.
I'm gonna take a totally different path and,
Okay, yes, sir.
get this thing back on track. We're gonna take a couple of steps back and restart.
Okay, yes.
Here's what we're gonna do. You are gonna complete a new substance abuse evaluation within 30 days. I don't care if you keep pleading in Georgia, Florida, it doesn't matter to me.
Yep.
Between somewhere in these two states, there's gotta be somebody who allows, because frankly, my people here are not having any trouble getting their evaluations done. So
Yeah.
might be you gotta drive back.
I'll try to get it done here tomorrow.
There you go, great plan. You are going to report, and test weekly. Now, obviously, you don't live here, which means your report's gonna be by phone, but your test is gonna be in person. So find a good testing facility down there, and you're gonna do that until you're back in full compliance. However, the hook I'm gonna put in this is that you're on zero tolerance for the duration of your case. I need to make certain that you're clean. I don't want any more miscommunications. You've got to get your community service work done. Wow.
It's about 15 hours or so a week that I need to complete.
I'm doing that math. Yeah. Yeah, you've got, and to be fair, I sentenced you to this at your sentence. So this is information you had available to you back when you were originally sentenced 241 days ago. Okay. I'm going to require you to complete 16 hours of community service work per week because I have no other option other than jail, and neither of us want us to choose that option. So 16 hours of community service work per week. And again, watch us on Facebook. Okay. Mr. Monk, that's my sentence. Any questions for me? All right, step over to the door there, sign that. They'll give you a copy before you leave. Morris? All right, you're Jennifer Morris.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Morris, Mr. Walker, you'll both please raise your right hands. Do you both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Morris, your case is 19 SR 816. You're here today because your probation officers filed paperwork with me alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. Do you understand what you're doing here today? You ready to go forward?
Yes, sir.
All right, you're really soft-spoken. Lean into that microphone there. Keep your mask up, but it'll pick it up.
Okay.
But we just got to make a good record here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Morris, number one, it says that you tested positive for methamphetamine in the probation office. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that you did not complete random drug screens as requested, as directed?
I went and took one, and then I reported about Spalding and was told to come in on, I can't remember the date, it was a Friday. I ended up working late. I sent Mr. Walker an email letting him know that I worked late and had missed the appointment, and he sent me an email.
Was that after I placed you on zero tolerance?
It was after our last hearing.
Okay, then you would have been on zero tolerance, which meant that's not an option. So, just thought I'd clear that up.
Okay, I've just gotten a new job, and that's why I missed it.
Okay. Well, I mean, the thing about it is, Ms. Morris, is that when you're in full compliance, we bend over backwards, but when you're already out of compliance, I've got to bring in the boundaries to make certain that you're able to do it. Otherwise, I'm going to figure out that maybe you're not a candidate for probation, and I'm just going to revoke you to the jail. Do you understand that?
I do understand.
I mean, frankly, in a normal world, which there's nothing normal about 2020, there's no way you would be a walk-in hearing today. You'd be a jail case. And I wonder if you should be a jail case, because I'm worried that you're still using because you failed to do your drug screen after testing positive. And so there's a part of me that's a little suspicious, if I might just be so direct and say, did you miss the drug screen because your job worked you late, or did you miss it because it was going to show positive for methamphetamine? And now I'll never have the answer to that question, which makes me very suspicious. What about the substance abuse evaluation? I don't show where you ever completed that either.
I turned in paperwork to the office prior to our last hearing, Your Honor. If I need to turn it in again, I can do so.
Mr. Walker, if you don't mind taking a look at your file and see if you have proof of completion of a substance abuse evaluation.
Yes, sir. Me and Miss Matthews checked the file yesterday. We didn't see a evaluation.
Okay, so again, there we are. Your case is just not stable. You're saying you turned it in. They're saying they don't have it.
They made copies.
Okay, well, they're saying they don't have it. And frankly, this has happened after you had a positive screen. I placed you on zero tolerance. You missed your next appointment. You missed a test for your next appointment. And now you're telling me that the item you turned it in, and they've lost it. So I know. I'm just telling you, it's like this, and this is nothing personal, Ms. Morris, but I'll give you a little peek into my personal philosophy. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gets one coincidence.
Okay.
Some people can get two. But when you have three, you lose them all. And you have three. So I'm done. I'm not going down this rabbit hole with you 1 inch further. Here's what we're doing. I don't have an option for a jail for you on this, but that is where you need to be because you clearly need some intense help. And frankly, in my opinion, a little bit of detox. So what I'm going to do instead is you are going to report and test weekly for the duration of your case. You are on zero tolerance for the duration of your case, which means if you step out of line even 1 inch, so if you're ordered to report by 5 o'clock and you report at 5:01, guess what? That's a warrant. You're going to do a substance abuse evaluation and turn it in within 30 days. You may start by turning in the one you say you've already turned in and that they lost. And they will review it. If they think it is proper and appropriate, they'll accept it. If not, they're going to ask you to do another one, and you're going to do that.
Yes, sir.
When's the last time you used any illegal substances?
That last urine screen notice.
Ma'am?
The last urine screen that I went to.
That would have been October 6th.
I believe that was the day.
Well, that was the date of the test, so I'm going to put before October 6th. So if you took another test, it should be clear?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Walker, I'm going to have her report in person. Will you please tell me when you'd like me to have her come by to get a test and check in?
Tomorrow, Judge.
All right, so you're going to report that would be November 30th. I'm sorry, October 30th. What time?
9 to 9:30.
Mr. Morris, do you understand that if you show up tomorrow morning at 9:31, I will issue a warrant for your arrest and I'll never look back?
Yes, sir.
Here's the sentence. You are going to complete a new evaluation or turn in the one you got tomorrow morning. You're going to report in person tomorrow morning, October 30th, 2020, between 9 and 9:30 to be tested and to turn in again the document you say you already have. Your last use was before October 6th of 2020, and you're on zero tolerance for the duration of your case. If I have so much of even a blip on the radar with you from here to the end, I'm going to issue a warrant for you, and I'm going to detox you in the Spalding County Jail, whether you like it or not. You understand what I'm doing?
Yes, sir.
Sign this. Report of probation tomorrow morning.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Purser, come on up. All right, you are Nicole Purser.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Purser, Mr. Morris, Ms. Walker, y'all both please raise your right hand. You both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Purser, you are under our pretrial diversion program. You ready to start your hearing?
Yes, sir.
Your case is 19 SR 1415. Your probation officer filed paperwork with me alleging that you're out of compliance with the terms of your pretrial diversion supervision. It says here that you missed some report dates. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that you got behind on your fines and fees and did not use community service work to get caught up. Is that correct as well?
I've asked for community service since I was put on probation.
Okay.
From the moment that I was sent to that back room with Miss Patrick, I believe.
Okay.
And she said that we will deal with that when it comes to it. And I said that I know for a fact because I don't have a job and I'm about to give birth, which I gave birth 4 months ago.
Okay.
And every single time that I've actually contacted her, that I know that I did miss some report dates because I have had some stuff going on the past 2 months, and it's not her fault. It's my fault. I've asked for community service, and she has not granted it to me, and I know it has been.
Who is she?
My probation officer.
And her name is?
Miss Patrick.
Okay. Okay. The short answer is that Miss Patrick has been out for a while. You've been assigned to Miss Stroud.
Okay.
You've been assigned to Miss Stroud for months. So the fact that you don't know your current probation officer, if I might just be very direct, makes me a little bit suspicious of the amount of efforts you've put into getting this information. Now granted, you did have a baby in there, and I'm gonna give you that. But that did still giving you a month to recover from the birth. That still gives you 3 months to communicate and figure that out. However, you've not had a previous hearing with me, and so I'm gonna let you stay in the program. Anything else you want me to know?
I guess not. Nothing that will help me in this matter.
Well, I'm gonna let you stay in, and we're gonna give you a chance to get restarted. So I'm not about to punish you. I'm about to just kind of reset the clock to 0, and I'm gonna give you a chance to fix it going forward.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You are to report weekly until your case is, actually, Mr. Walker, she's available to close as soon as she's completed her terms, correct?
Yes, sir.
I just haven't had a job. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. You do understand, of course, that you can watch this Facebook feed and get your hours from
I didn't know
home.
until now, until today. I knew about community service and I love community service, but every single time I did talk to somebody, I wasn't told about this specific kind, which sounds pretty awesome in my opinion, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, we've been offering this since June.
They didn't.
Okay.
I apologize.
Well, and again, I just have a hard time with the idea that this never once came up, but that's okay. I'm not gonna go there with you. We're just gonna leave that aside and we're just gonna reset you. So, all right, you're to report and test weekly until your case is closed. No, not test, I'm so sorry. You're to report weekly until your case is closed.
Yes, sir.
You are going to report by phone on November 3rd,
Yes, sir.
2020, between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Just to say this out loud, you've gotten my attention because you're saying you didn't get this information, but according to the records I'm looking at, your missed report dates go from backwards 10/14, 9/16, 9/2, 8/19, 8/5, 7/8, 7/1, 6/12, and then we jump back to April. So we haven't had any contact with you according to these records since.
I've called on days that I weren't supposed to, but I do admit to missing those days.
Okay. All right. Well, If you step out of line again, I'm probably gonna remove you from the program and put you on a jury trial calendar, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, get this case closed. It's not that far out of compliance.
Yes, sir.
And you may step over there and talk to the bailiff. Martel Varner. All right. Good morning, Mr. Varner. Good morning. All right, please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about giving this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Varner, you're here on 19 SR 421 because your probation officers filed paperwork with me alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. You understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Varner, says here that you missed some report dates, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that you missed court with me on June 25th of 2020? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that you caught new charges, looks like new felony charges in Clayton County?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Varner, in any normal world, which there's nothing normal about 2020, you would be a jail case. And there's no way I would have let you out at this point. It doesn't look like those are victim crimes, although they are felonies. What do you want me to know?
I mean, when I missed my the days I was supposed to report, I was calling in on the wrong days because I got two probation. I got another probation in Henry County, so I was getting mixed up with the dates and stuff.
How long were you incarcerated when you got arrested?
But this time,
The Clayton County charges.
like 32 days, I believe. And I was just in the car with the wrong people at the wrong time, and nobody playing this stuff. We got pulled over, so we all in jail.
All right, and you're telling me under oath and under the penalty of perjury that you actually spent 32 days in the Clayton County Jail?
So I don't know the exact days, but a month at least.
Mr. Walker, I'm gonna have him report in person for the remainder of his probation. When would you like me to have him, and test? When would you like me to have him report?
Judge, do you want to swear me in on this verification of the time in jail? Because it was a little complicated.
Yeah, I would love that. Ms. Matthews, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, tell me a little bit about this.
All right, so I called on September 25th. That's when I noticed that he was no longer showing up on the Clayton County website. And I spoke with Corporal Terrell, and she stated that he was released on 8/13. And so that information just seemed a little confusing to me. So I decided to wait and call back to see if I got something different. I called back on October 13th. I apologize. October 1st. And I spoke with a clerk out there, and they stated he was arrested on August 12th, and he was released on August 13th.
One day.
that one day, I do agree. Like, I spent a significant amount of time trying to verify this, because Touchstone had reached out about the defendants, and we had given a resolve, and we got that resolve back on September the 18th, but the defendant never reported since that release. But I called multiple times and spoke with different people, and they all gave me the same information.
Okay.
And so that's where my information is coming from. I don't have any physical paper documentation. Mr. Varner hasn't turned in any proof of incarceration paperwork, but I have not asked him to either.
Well, I'm about to order him to. So that'll solve that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Matthews, that was very helpful.
I apologize, Judge.
No, that was very helpful, because that was what I was so confused about. So, okay, well, I think the solution to this, Mr. Varner, is as follows. I'm going to take you at your word that you've served a month, and that I'm going to give you 30 days to serve. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that you're going to receive credit for time served according to the proof of incarceration that you're going to go to Clayton County and get. And I want you to do it for 2020. So that way we have the whole year. So your proof of incarceration for 2020 will tell us how many days you've served. If you have not served 30 days, you're going to go to the jail and finish that time. If you've served 30 days or more, then it's time served. So I hope for your sake that you have counted your days correctly. If not, that's what we're going to do. You're going to be on zero tolerance for the duration of your case. So you're also going to report and test weekly for the duration of your case. Mr. Walker, when do you want him to report?
Is he coming in office or phone, Judge?
In office. I want him tested.
Let's do this Tuesday and then whatever time.
Okay. Tuesday and then 1 to 1:30.
All right. So you're going to report in person Tuesday, November 3rd, between 1 and 1:30. Do you understand that 1:31 is late and will result in a warrant?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Varner, I'm going to give you 10 days to get that proof of incarceration from Clayton County.
Yes, sir.
And again, that proof of incarceration needs to cover all of 2020.
That was the right date though that she gave, the 12th to the 13th.
Well, and that's why I'm thinking the proof of incarceration will clear all this up, because it'll say, hey, in 2020, Mr. Varner was checked in to the Clayton County Jail on this date, and he literally left physically on this date. And then we'll just calculate between the two. And again, I'm choosing 30 days because that's when you're telling me you've served. And so if it turns out you served less than 30 days, you're going to have to go finish it up at Spalding County Jail. If you did all those days in Clayton County, then I'll give you credit for those days.
Okay, yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Matthews, anything else, Mr. Walker?
Sir?
Anything else on this case?
No, sir.
Okay, Mr. Warren, you may step over there. All right, I finished the calendar, but I still have people here. Do I? So you're the interlock guy? All right, come on up. I don't have you on my calendar, so tell me your name.
Oh, Jervis Penn.
Penn, P-E-N-N?
Yes, sir.
What's your first name?
Jervis, Jervious.
All right, we normally put these on the calendar instead of just walking in, but you're here.
No, I came in Monday. They told me to come in.
Okay, well, you're here now. And so if you'll pass your paperwork up, I'll take a look at it. There it is. I found it. Mr. Penn, your case is 14 SR 1811. Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Again, state your full name for the court reporter.
Jervis Penn.
Mr. Penn, on 14 SR 1811, the Georgia Department of Driver Services is requiring you to get an ignition interlock device. Oh, I know why they told you to walk in, because they would have, they were closed last week. And so they just said to walk in, and they were trusting that I would find it. I couldn't figure out why they just told you to walk in, but I just put it all together. All right, so you wisely brought me a suspension detail report, which is exactly what I needed. It says here that one of the requirements you must meet is to either get an ignition interlock or to get a financial hardship waiver. So my question for you, Mr. Penn, is would getting a ignition interlock device be a undue financial hardship on you?
Yes, sir.
All right, well then I'm going to find that that's proper. I'm going to find that you have satisfied your other obligations other than this one. And according to this, you only have this one and completion of your treatment program, and you've provided me with several receipts showing that you are working your way through that with a treatment provider.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have a Georgia ID? With current address and information on it?
Well, my address is not current on. I gotta get it. I was waiting.
Okay, well, how about
I just moved.
I'll just put the address on it that's on here, because they're gonna match it to this.
Okay. Yeah, I just recently moved about a month ago.
Okay. Well, it's up to you. You want me to put your new address on it? You can sort all that out with DDS, or you want me to put your older address on it?
My new address.
Okay, give me just a second. All right, we're off record for a couple minutes while I type this up. All right, we're still off record. What's your address?
1108 Tranquility Loop, Griffin, Georgia, 30223.
1108 Tranquility Loop.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're back on record. All right, Mr. Finn, I'm granting your request for ignition interlock waiver. I'm giving your packet that you've given me with your suspension detail report plus your identification card back to the bailiff. I've also signed this order. I'm gonna ask the bailiff to make an extra copy, give you both. You must go to the clerk's office on your way out the door and have them stamp the original to take with you to the Department of Driver Services. If you go without the stamp, it won't do you any good. All right, you may stand over there by the door, and I'm gonna mark you as applied and granted.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Penn. All right, ma'am, come on up to the podium. What is your name?
My name is Stacy Tatum, and this is for Christian Scott. He's at work. He just got out of prison, and they told me I could bring the paperwork up here. This is from his parole officer. When the court case came up, he was incarcerated.
Okay. Yeah, he takes the original. And, he needs to take both of those from the clerk's office, they'll stamp both and give you back that one.
I faxed the paperwork yesterday. I didn't know if I could do it like that or not.
You gotta do it the way you're doing it now.
Okay.
Okay, this doesn't quite line up, but I'm going to, because it's 2020, hedge on the side of grace, and grant the request. So what this says is that he was released from prison on 9/25. His court date was, oh no, it does line up. I'm so sorry. It absolutely lines up. I missed it.
Yes, sir.
You are correct. It lines up perfectly. This can go back to her. All right, I need a valid current address.
For him?
Yep.
Jesus, I know it's,
Or any address where he can reliably get mail.
okay, you can do 124 Thornberry, Thornberry, Trail, Jackson, Georgia, 30233.
You give me 124 Thornberry Trail, Jackson, Georgia, 30233.
Yes, sir.
Christian Scott.
He was pulled over in Butts County, and that's how we found out there was an open warrant. And they didn't, what do you call it, expedite or what?
They didn't bring him back.
They didn't because it was misdemeanors, I believe. I'm not sure.
Well, you've done what I want you to do, which was come in with an official report telling me from the Georgia, Department of Corrections that he was incarcerated on the date of his court date. Normally what would have happened, and there's nothing normal about 2020, is he would have been brought over to our jail before he got out. As soon as he hit the jail, I would have seen it because I review the jail report every single day. I would have immediately saw that he was there. I would immediately have him sign a reset notice and released him. And so I'm simply doing the same thing I would have done in a different order. So
Thank you so much.
I've signed the bench warrant release. I've put his current address down there. He will receive a notice from the clerk's office. But just so you know, I don't generally lift second warrants. So if he misses another court date, I'm probably gonna leave him in the jail.
He'll be here.
I know, but
He's doing real
I'm just
good.
obligated to say out loud that if he misses another court date, I'm probably gonna leave him in until his case is closed.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Keep it on your mailbox. You'll get the notice. He'll either be brought in. He won't be here for November, so the clerk will bring him in. My guess would be January. So
he should come in January.
No, but they'll send him the notice and it'll tell him. You can also check when the notice is put on the record on spaldingcounty.com, and he can search for his name and it'll tell you right there when his next court date is. But it won't be put in until the clerk's office gets this and schedules it, so it'll be a couple days.
So the bench warrant will be lifted because he was so
That's
scared.
this. That's what this does. So me signing this document lifts the bench warrant.
Okay, thank you, sir.
It'll be lifted once it gets filed with the clerk and sent over to the warrant division. So it's still got a little bit, it's still got a few miles to travel before it gets where it's going, but it's going to move.
Thank you so much.
All right, good luck, man.
You guys have a blessed day.
Okay, so this needs to go and needs to go to the clerk's office. Okay. Mr. Walker, anything else before I close the deed?
No, sir.
All right, then I'm going to close the feed. We're going to adjourn court, issue all the warrants. You and I will do an informal calendar call. And then that's it for today.